Williams, and a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. As per usual, it's my duty to share with you the Health Emergency Operating Center's report for today, Saturday, November 21st. And so this is a special edition of our usual HEOC press briefing. Last evening, the Ministry of Health received the positive laboratory report, positive COVID-19 laboratory report of our 20th case of COVID-19. So as of today, St. Kitts and Nevis now has a total of 20 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 14 St. Kitts and 6 Nevis. This additional case of COVID-19 is an imported case. The individual would have arrived in the Federation on November the 8th, 2020, and has been in quarantine since arrival. We want to assure the general public that the protocols have been followed along the corridor of containment between the airport and the arrival of the individual, at the accommodation site. And I want to add that supplemental or refresher training session was conducted at the accommodation site this morning. And so we met with all majority of the staff members at that location, and we underscored all the protocols that are to be followed as they host international travelers. I want to reach out to all the other COVID-19 approved hotels and accommodation sites. If on reflection you think the staff members are in need of supplemental training, we want you to reach out to the Ministry of Tourism, the tourism authorities on the island, and the Ministry of Health, and this can be facilitated. Based on the World Health Organization's dashboard, there has been over 57 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 to date, and the death toll globally stands at 1,368,000. In the United States of America, between January and present, they have reported over or almost 12 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, and the death toll in the United States in terms of COVID-19 stands at 254,560. What's happening in the Caribbean region? We have over 282,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and almost 5,000 deaths. And this just gives you an idea as to what's happening in each of the Caribbean islands. Jamaica, over 10,000. Trinidad and Tobago, over 6,000. Guyana, almost 5,000. Belize, almost 5,000. Antigua and Barbuda now stands at 139. St. Lucia is at 203. And Grenada at 41. This other slide gives you a much better picture as to the rate of increase in the number of cases in some of these or in some of our neighboring islands. So for example, in Barbados, they would have reported 14 new cases of COVID-19 within the last 2-week period. St. Lucia would have reported 93 new COVID-19 cases within the last 14 days. And Dominica would have reported 22, Grenada 11, all within the last fortnight. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we continue to test all the international travelers who would have come into country since our borders reopened on October 31st, and our returning nationals. And our total now in terms of number of persons tested stands at over 3,631. In terms of quarantine, we have approximately 243 persons in quarantine, 4 in home quarantine, and we have now 20 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 19 of whom would have recovered, and we have 1, our last case, stable and now in isolation. Again, we want to highlight the URL, the website, where persons who are interested in coming to St. Kitts, you can log on to www.knatravelform.kn, and you will find our health and travel protocols and the entry form that must be completed prior to your getting approval to come to the Federation. All inbound travelers, you must submit the evidence of a negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test. That's very, very important. This test must be done within 3 days of your boarding the conveyance to the Federation, and this test must be done at an accredited laboratory. You also need to provide us with the reservation, your hotel reservation. You need to confirm that you do in fact have a reservation at one of the COVID-19 certified hotels or accommodation sites. Now, we continue to accept international travelers and returning nationals, and to date, most of the persons who have come into country between October 31st and now, they have come from hotspots, the United States of America, Canada, and further afield. And so, by extension, the risk of importing their virus continues to be very high. And so it's very, very important for us to adhere to the prevention and control measures. The big question is, how can you and I protect ourselves from this COVID-19 virus with our borders open? Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you wear your face mask when in public places. It's very important for you to maintain good hand hygiene. Make sure that your hands are clean after you would have touched those high-touch surfaces like doorknobs, the carts in the supermarkets, etc. Make sure you walk with your hand sanitizer, and there's the good old soap and water. Hand hygiene, very, very important. And you need to remember to maintain that 6 feet distance between yourselves and others when in public spaces, and avoid crowds. All right? So these are the measures that have proven to be successful in terms of protecting individuals from this virus. Last Wednesday evening, we got word that individuals in the community, they observed a new person circulating in the community. And this information was shared with the security forces, and this individual is now in quarantine. We want to applaud the vigilance of good citizens in the community. So far, we've done well in terms of the all-of-society approach in terms of our response to COVID-19. And so this all-of-society approach is required to effectively monitor our borders. The aim is to keep our federation safe. Thank you.